alderman and candidate is going to have exactly 5 minutes to talk. And basically, just tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're running for alderman. Why don't we start with Mr. Smith? Please mention what ward you're running for as well.
My name is Bob Smith. I'm running for Ward 2. I live on Cottonwood Lane, which is near the east end of town. I was an alderman previously in 2008. I've been a county board supervisor, been on the planning commission for the last 7 or 8 years, been on the landfill committee for the last 7 or 8 years. I came to be an alderman and along with one of the ex-mayors, Tracy Heron, and one of the other ex-mayors, Jerry Meady, who was an alderman at the time. We all came to solve the problem of our $2 million deficit. It was actually $2.3 million. And once we figured out what the problem was, I, along with Kathy Weil, authored the 9-year plan that everybody keeps talking about. And that council approved it, and I'm very proud that the councils after have adhered to it within reason. It was originally an 8-year plan, but we added a year because we figured nobody would be able to do it. But they did. It'll probably be 8 years, something like that. And it wasn't just a plan that took money out of the budget. It was a plan everybody contributed, including the taxpayers, to the water, the fire protection, and so forth. The fireworks, there were a lot of things. The ambulance, we asked the other communities for help with the ambulances. A lot of things went into this $365,000 a year we did. It's coming to an end. I'm running for alderman because I think I'm good with numbers. I was on the audit committee for the county board. We audited all their bills. I think I can be helpful in creating the next plan. What do we do now? Because there are a lot of comments. I could go through my life story. I've been married to the same woman for 50 years. That's probably my biggest accomplishment. Or hers, right there. A lawyer would come up with that. No business for you. So, but anyway, to get back to it, I have a lot of experience. I appreciate that when people I mentioned ran for alderman and mayor and so forth, nobody was interested in these jobs. It's nice to see people interested, you know. That was the shame. I moved to this town because my business was traveling all over the country. I picked what I thought was the best town in America, actually. And it still is. I love this town. I've been here 22 years. I think the city, I was happy to stand back and do other things in the city. I'm on the library board. I love the library, the Friends of the Library. And I spent a lot of time volunteering for things in the city. You might see me at the Legion Hall, charging for fish fries, or at the polka dances, working there. But I volunteer a lot. I didn't think I was needed much anymore, but now that the 9-year plan is over, I think I can be helpful. And I think the city needs my expertise. I retired in 2004, started my own business. Before that, I ran the Heiser dealerships in Milwaukee. Before that, I was an engineer for the city of Brookfield, which I learned in the Army during the Vietnam War. So I've had a lot of experience. The city needs some experience right now, and that's why I'm throwing my hat in the ring. And I'm asking for your vote. I think I'm going to add a little sanity to what you've heard today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Andy Shoemaker. I am the current alderman for Ward 2 since December when I took over for the last alderman that moved out of the ward and I took over. I am basically polar opposite of the person I'm running against. I have little to none experience, but I'm willing to learn. I retired from the military 2 years ago after serving for 20 years. My wife works at Mayville Savings Bank. We have a 6-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old son. They both go to St. Mary's School, which I do a lot of volunteering up there, and I'm the treasurer of the home school. I'm on the home school advisory board. I have a criminal justice degree from Marion and a minor in pre-law. For the last 6 years, I've been a stay-home dad, so I have time to learn this job. I'm new at being an alderman, like I said, but I'm willing and eager to learn the job. I want to learn everything I can about the city and the government that makes up Mayville. I want to be the best. I want the best for the city and the people of Mayville. I would like to be the voice for Ward 2 and vote on topics the way the people in my area would want me to. So I want to listen to what the people say and vote accordingly to what they say, not just what I think. So I want to go with the best. If you give me the opportunity to be your voice, please call me, stop at my house, stop me at the grocery store, whatever. Let me know what you want, and I'll work on it. One thing I think we could cut our taxes by lowering the heat in here probably. It's really hot. But plain and simple, quick and easy. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Newman.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ken Newman. Good to have you along. Thanks to the Chamber for giving us the opportunity to be up here. Obviously, thank you, Joe Holman and Mr. Bell, for that great debate that we heard. I mean, that's, if you think about it, you really think about it, it's huge. It's a huge seat to fill. A lot of people came up to me and go, hey, Kenny, why aren't you running for mayor? Well, first of all, my jokes aren't as good as Jerry Mady's. And I'm not great enough, and the pay's not that great either, so that's why I do that. But I was alderman in Ward 2. I moved out of Ward 2 for personal reasons. I'm now residing in 4, 7, and 8. I was inspired by folks coming up to me and going, wow, we really miss you on council, and you did a really good job. I do have the experience, not as extensive as Mr. Smith has, but I did serve almost my full term, and I just really wanted back again because I really miss serving the community. I did serve on the fire department, Mayville Fire Department, for 4 years, and that was like one of my best experiences of my life. I think our Chief Brad Marks right now is doing a great job with the fire department and boosting that morale. Speaking of public safety, I mean, that's number one for me. Number one priority. We are the safest city. There was a study done. We are the safest city in the United States of America. We got a great police department. You must remember back in 2014 when we had the debacle of, we're going to get rid of the Mayville Police Department. That's what inspired me to run. We can't get rid of the police department. Are they crazy? What's the council doing? And it fired up a lot of people. And like I said, this seat, my seat, 4, 7, and 8, Aldermanic District, is just as important as the mayor. And just as important as 2. I wish there'd be more people passionate about politics and your life. I make those decisions for you. I'm your voice. I have the experience, so we accomplished a lot of things in council. I did come up with, I'm in love with our downtown, and I traveled many places, and I enjoyed outdoor dining. And I was like, you know what, I gotta get something together. I talked to Kevin Martin from Marsabilios. He was excited about that. And Felix from Don Ramones, and talked to other few people, and they're like, that's a great idea. We didn't have anything in the books. And I'm like, why don't we have anything in the books? Because I talked to Mayor Redeker, and I'm like, what do you do, really? So I took it upon myself. I did a lot of research in different cities and different populations, and came up with our Mayville outdoor dining ordinance. So that's a little feather in my cap. I wanted to bring, if I was still on council, I didn't move, I wanted to bring the idea of a dog park. I think we should have a dog park here in Mayville. We have nowhere to run our pets, and I believe in Mayville. I feel an attachment to Mayville. I love being here. I've been here 10 plus years, and I just want to get back in. And I ask for your vote on April 5th, and thanks for your time.
Thank you. Mr. Frick.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gene Frank, and I'm running for 4th, 7th, and 8th Ward Alderman also. Thank you all for coming. I'm glad to see we've got such a good turnout, and everyone's so interested in what's going on in the city. I grew up in the big city of Theresa and attended Mayville High School. I married my wife, Pat, in 1968, and we have lived in Mayville since then. We raised 2 children here and have 3 grandchildren. I currently am on the board of directors for the Mayville Limestone Museum, a member of the St. Paul's Church, and I'm currently secretary of the Fire and Police Commission and also the EMT Commission. I retired in 2006 after 10 years as an engineering manager for a stamping plant in Menominee Falls. Before that, I worked 17 years as vice president of manufacturing for a local tool and die plant. I also owned and operated my own business for 10 years here in Mayville. For all of these jobs, I was responsible for quoting costs, project management, creating and working with a team, staying in budget, and most importantly, meeting customer satisfaction. My reasons for running for mayor are, I think the past 3 mayors have done an excellent job of creating and implementing the 9-year plan and controlling the debt. I would like to see us stay on this path and hope to help the new mayor to do so. I would like to see an increase in the tax base, both residential and business, by promoting and creating a safe, comfortable place to live and to work. I intend to maintain a safe and up-to-date police and fire department and also EMT services, and also maintain the streets and roads. As your elected official, I will serve the city and the needs of the residents of Mayville to the best of my ability. I have traditional and conservative values, and voting for me, I promise to continue growing the city, keeping Mayville safe, a great place, and a great place that we now know and for the future. Thank you, and please vote for Gene Franks on April 5th.
Thank you. With that, our event is concluded. Thank you. I think we should give these guys a round of applause. I'm sure they're going to be hanging around, so feel free to go.